Okay, we're recording. So, hey everybody, thank you so much for joining tonight for Angela's launch party. My name is Edna Swindle, and if you can't already tell, I'm not from Florida. I have a very southern accent. I'm from Mississippi, and the way that I know Angela is because her upline in the company is Elizabeth Proctor, and she is one of my childhood friends, used to live in Mississippi. And so that's how Angela and I met, is through Elizabeth. And so it's an exciting night because Angela has been taking Plexus products now, I think, 2 years? Is that correct? And we never had a launch party for her. So now that she has a summer break from school, we just decided that it was a good time for us to do this for her friends to learn about Plexus. So I have some notes here tonight because I tend to get very off track if I don't have like an outline. So if I look down for a second, I apologize. But so again, we're very glad that you're on to support Angela. And it's really fun to create these friendships through this company. It's been so fun to meet so many different people from all over through this. So tonight I want to give a disclaimer. We're going to be very mindful of the time. I know that it's an hour ahead where y'all are right now, and it's a weeknight, and y'all probably have lots going on. So I'm going to give you a very crash course over our 4 main Plexus products and share my testimony, and Angela is also going to share hers tonight. So you may walk away tonight with more questions than you had when you started this, because again, it's going to be very quick, but that's okay because we want to continue these conversations after this meeting is over. So there is a little chat box somewhere on your screen. It's different for phones versus computers, whatever you're on. So if you have a question during the meeting, feel free to type it out, but we also will have some Q&A at the end where you can either type out your question at the end, or I can unmute you, or you can unmute yourself at the very end if you have anything that you have a question about. So disclaimer also is that Plexus does not treat, cure, or prevent any disease. We want to share our experiences with you tonight, not because we sell it, or not because we're some hardcore salespeople, but because we have some health stories of things that we have personally seen happen in our life with our health, and also from a business standpoint. And we can't help but share it with others when we feel better, when we feel like we have better quality of life. So I want to, first of all, share my testimony and why in the world I got started with Plexus. So I've actually been with Plexus for 3 years now. It's kind of crazy that I've been with it that long. I have not missed a day of taking these products because my testimony is kind of scattered, so just bear with me. But I grew up in a very health-conscious family. Elizabeth will probably start smiling because both of our families were very much into eating healthy, food being by medicine. My parents on my dad's side and my mom's side had cancer. And so my parents started looking into alternative ways to prevent disease. And so I grew up with the knowledge of eating right, exercise, things like that to keep me healthy. But when I went to college at Ole Miss, freshman year, all of that went out the window. I was eating junk food. Because of that, I was getting overweight. Started doing freshman thing, drinking a little bit too much, and that led to more like binge eating. And so all of that combined, plus stress of college, led to low energy. I honestly felt like I wanted a nap every single afternoon. There wasn't a day that I wasn't like so drained by like 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I craved sugar like a maniac. Like, no lie, it was like a drug to me. Just constantly felt the need to have something sweet after I ate. Like I said, I gained weight because I was not feeling great. I went through a state of depression. And what's crazy to me is now that I've been with Plexus, I have learned that your gut being unhealthy can not just be something that causes you to physically not feel good, but it also can mess with you mentally. And so looking back, I see because of my diet and stress and what I was doing during that time was leading to poor gut health, which made me feel more depressed. I had mood swings like crazy. I would be energetic and happy one minute, and then I could just burst into tears 20 minutes after that. So my husband will even attest to that and say, like, she was crazy. Like, at a point he was thinking, later, now that we're married, he told me this. He's like, I mean, there was times where I was like, I don't know if I can put myself through this. Like, I literally, and it was so weird because I felt like I couldn't control it. It was very uncontrollable feeling. I had a very foggy brain feeling whenever I would sit in exams. Especially, I can remember just sitting there thinking, I cannot concentrate. My mind feels so foggy. So after my freshman year, I started cleaning up my diet because I knew that's what I needed to do. Started taking a good probiotic from Whole Foods. And I did feel better. I did. And I shed some weight. And then fast forward to when I got married, I got my personal trainer's license because for myself, not because my parents loved exercise and eating right. I started loving it for myself. Got into running, taught spin classes, and I loved all that. And then when I had my second child, she was 6 months old when I heard about Plexus. And I still was not feeling the best. I still wanted naps. I was breastfeeding during the night a lot, but I still wanted naps too much. Didn't have a lot of energy. I still crave sugar like crazy, like every night, just raiding the kitchen cabinets. And I just knew that that's not the way my body was designed to feel. So I had a friend that came to me about Plexus, and she's like, Edna, I think you would love these products. I really do. She's like, I know you already take a probiotic, and I think that you would love our probiotic because it's different. And I was super skeptical. I was like, no way. I'm not a products person. Give me my water, my exercise, and my clean eating, and I'm good to go. But honestly, she kept bugging me about it, and she was like, I know you'll like it. So I was like, what the heck? I'll just try it. So I ordered, and my husband was like, look, just get it the cheapest way possible. So I went the ambassador route to get wholesale pricing. And then he said, if you end up liking it and you see results from it, all I ask is that you try to get your products paid for. So skeptically, I went into it. I did not feel a difference overnight. I didn't feel a difference in a week. But 5 weeks in, I started noticing significant changes. And it's so funny because I didn't even tell my husband like I wasn't craving sugar anymore. And one night he was like, I want some cookies. Why aren't you saying that you want some of that? And then I felt so clear-minded. I woke up in the morning feeling refreshed. I didn't want naps, which was huge. I mean, I could do so much in the afternoon not wanting a nap and wanting to sit down. And I felt like for me, Plexus was just kind of the missing piece to the overall puzzle of health. It was supplementation that my body just seemed to need, that I was not getting from my food and just simply from trying to live a healthy lifestyle. So it's been a huge blessing just to feel like I'm myself. I'm not emotional. I'm not, lacking energy. I just feel good, and it's a very clean energy type feel. So Angela's story is probably a little bit different than mine. And so I'm looking forward to her sharing a little bit about that with y'all. So I'm going to unmute you, Angela.
Okay.
Let's do this. Go ahead.
All right. Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining in tonight. So I would say that growing up, I'm an emotional person, and I've experienced anxiety from injuries I've had and car accidents, and just endured like injuries to my neck and back, and so that produced more like depression and anxiety. And then in 2009, so when I pretty much started having like the cysts, ovarian cysts, and they were huge. They were so big that I'd have to go for ultrasounds every few months to see how big they've gotten, if they've dissipated, and Lord help me if they ruptured. It felt like child labor, which I didn't know what it felt like at first, but I was like on the ground. I was in the emergency room probably like 5 times during this time period. And even like the times I had him for like months, I went to like this internal specialist, disease specialist, which was like, he's like, I don't see anything wrong with you, but the symptoms that the cyst would produce are just GI. They would affect my GI, gave me acne, and I was in my 30s. Just very painful, whatever side the cysts were on. So I decided to, go see the doctor after having children, and they wanted me to put me on birth control pill, and I just did not have good experiences. The last one I had taken was Yaz, and that really gave me high blood pressure and all kinds of other symptoms that you see like on the commercial when they're having the lawsuit for it. So I was just scared to death. And the last one I had tried gave me high blood pressure. So I decided to have a partial hysterectomy, which was March 2016. And my doctor was like, this is going to help you, da, da, da. So he, went in, took my uterus, both tubes, my right ovary. And then for 2 months, I was pain-free because I was starting to have pain. Before that was consistently on my right side. So I thought it was just always the right ovary that was having trouble. And then we thought it was my appendix. I'd been through all kinds of testing. Just felt like I was like too young to be in the hospital and having all these tests done. And then 2 months after that surgery, the pain from the cyst started happening again, which means the little ovary on the left was making referred pain. I would still feel it on the right. And that time is when Elizabeth was my amazing massage therapist, and she had been talking about plexus, and I was skeptical too. And I'm like, oh, I don't know. And then once, she's like, you're going to love this, Angela. I have faith this could help you. So I did research, and after reading like so many people's testimonies about that, I took the plunge, and I signed up as an ambassador as well. To get it wholesale pricing. And then I took it consistently for 2 months. And then within the 3rd month, I started feeling it. The pain that I was having every day on my right side stopped. And I was like, oh my goodness, this is huge. And not only that, like I've grown up with low blood sugar, and being a teacher, by like 11 o'clock, I'm like starving, but the ingredients in the Slim, it regulates my blood sugar, so I don't have the shakes anymore. I have to like freak out and stuff my face in front of my kids. Like some days I don't even need a snack when they have a snack, because it's just maintain my blood sugar, which is huge for me. That's been like a battle throughout my life. And then as far as like the anxiety, and just I've had mood swings too. You can ask friends that have known me my whole life. I'm very emotional and just sensitive and things like that. But I noticed now that I'm on the plexus, I have things in check. I mean, I will cry because I'm sensitive, but for the right reasons, but not a drop of a hat anymore. So that's been amazing. Sometimes I'm sitting there, I'm like, hey, I don't feel like crying, which has never happened to me before. But I feel like also with the X factor, like this is the first school year in years I've not gotten sick the first week of school, because I feel like my gut is healthy, and I've had, female issues since the hysterectomy, where I felt like hot flashes were starting to occur, and it stopped that. I used to crave sugar all the time as well. I don't have that anymore. And I just think it's been a huge blessing for me, and I'm just ready to just share with everybody, because I think, everybody could benefit from some aspects of it. So thank you for letting me share with you.
That's awesome. Well, as you can tell, you're probably thinking, okay, how does Plexus address so many different types of issues? And that's one thing that I'm going to talk about tonight. As I mentioned, some of our main products. because I had that question when I started, like, how does it help with migraines and cysts and mood swings and all this stuff? So first of all, Plexus is a health and wellness company that consists of natural plant-based supplements that really address the root issues. So when you hear people talk about, I helped my migraines and IBS and all that kind of stuff, it's because it's getting to the root of the problem rather than putting a Band-Aid and just masking the symptoms. It's getting to the heart of it. So if you have a question tonight about your issues or your health goals and say, like, what products would help me, again, we'll have the Q&A at the end, or we can take these conversations further off of here after the meeting. So when you address the root issues of blood sugar, stabilization, inflammation, gut health, and nutrient absorption, that's what are the root, that's the root of our health. So Plexus doesn't have a huge line of products. We had 17. Now we just added some new skincare in, so I guess that's 19. And that might sound like a lot, but it really isn't. So it's very simple, but I'm going to share these 4 main ones with you. 3 of them are considered what is called the triplex. That is the Slim, the ProBio 5 probiotic, and the BioCleanse. So the Plexus Slim is, you might have heard us talk about it before, is our pink drink. It is a pre-measured packet that you mix in water once a day. It is not a meal replacement. It is, so one of the things that Plexus Slim is going to do is it's going to address your blood sugar levels, which Angela had mentioned, that has helped her a ton, with an ingredient called chromium. So you're not having those peaks and valleys during the day of feeling energetic after you eat and then crashing right after. And then you need to eat something, and then you grab the sugar and the carbs because that's what's going to give you energy, and then you're going to crash again later. It keeps your blood sugar very stabilized, so you're not having to constantly snack and not usually reaching for the wrong things. Also, it has an ingredient, a natural ingredient in it called alpha lipoic acid. That's a natural anti-inflammatory. So a lot of people that have started Plexus, Triplex, have said that they have experienced decreased pain. And that is because of that ingredient in the Slim. So I'm a big runner, and I ran a marathon, not this past December, but the December before that. And that was the first big race that I have done since I had started Plexus. And it was so different than my first marathon because I did not experience pain. I did not experience soreness. I recovered so much quicker from my workouts. It was a huge difference. It was like it just aided my body in things that usually I just was used to. I was used to being sore. I was used to hurting after a big, long run. So that's a personal experience from the, inflammation for me. I love that it has no artificial sweeteners or dyes in it. It's non-GMO. It is sweetened with stevia. And it was actually originally created for people that had type 2 diabetes. But what they found is that people were experiencing weight loss and decreased sugar cravings from it. And then they found that there was other health benefits from it as well. So that's why they marketed it for everyone. Now, I will say this. If you do not have weight to lose, it will not make you lose more weight. My husband does not need to lose weight, but he takes the Slim because it gives him energy and it helps with that inflammation. And it's overall just a health detoxifying drink. So it does say Plexus Slim, but I assure you it is so much more than that. Okay, so the next, which is one of my favorite products that I mentioned, is in the Triplex, is the ProBio 5. This is our probiotic supplement, and a lot of you probably already know, you hear this a lot, it's good to take a probiotic. But what makes this the best one is because not only are you getting the good beneficial bacteria to help with your gut with your gut being in balance, it actually has an antifungal ingredient to actually kill the bad bacteria that is living in your gut. So we have something in our gut called our digestive tract called microflora, and if that is in imbalance, then that's what's going to lead to a lot of our health issues. And that microflora can get out of balance through the standard American diet, antibiotic use, stress. There was something else, but those are the main three things. And so a lot of us have taken antibiotics. A lot of us have eaten bad at one point. A lot of us are stressed. So that's how it gets out of balance. So you can't just take a probiotic and crowd out the bad bacteria with all this good probiotics that you're taking. You really need to have an antifungal in it that's going to kill the bad while giving you the good and replenishing that. So that's what our ProBio 5 does. And it also contains digestive enzymes, which helps in the healing of our gut. So I love that as well. Okay, so that's the game changer to me. Like I said, I was taking a good probiotic from Whole Foods, but people that start taking this probiotic over the one that they previously have taken say that they can tell a big difference. The third thing is the BioCleanse. Don't worry, it's not one of these cleanses that you're going to be running to the bathroom all the time. It's very gentle. It's mainly a magnesium supplement. It's magnesium hydroxide, which does two things. It oxygenates our bloodstream and our digestive system. So I thought that was very interesting when I learned about BioCleanse, that it oxygenates our bloodstream. And what I've learned is that disease and bacteria do not live well in a well-oxygenated environment. So what the ProBio 5 is going to do is it's going to kill those bad toxins and bad bacteria, and then the BioCleanse is going to oxygenate your system while gently cleansing out the bad that the ProBio 5 has killed. So some people say, well, can I take just the ProBio 5 or just the BioCleanse? And I say no. There are sister products. This is kind of a gross analogy, but it kind of helps you get a picture of what's going on with this. So the ProBio 5 is like scrubbing the toilet, and then the BioCleanse is like flushing the toilet. So you don't want to just scrub it, you want to eliminate too. So again, it's very gentle. So let's say you're someone that has IBS. There's IBS-C and there's IBS-D. So some people are like, well, I have IBS-D. Well, it actually can be a colon calmer too. So it just is a regulator. So you don't have to worry about if you're one extreme or the other type person. It's going to just help overall, just be a regulator, if that makes any sense. The fourth product that I'm going to talk about tonight, this is the last one that I'm probably going to mention, is our X Factor multivitamin that Angela also mentioned. I will be honest, I was not a good multivitamin person before I started Plexus. They usually nauseated me. I couldn't get consistent with them. I didn't like them. They made me burp. I just didn't like them. When I switched to X Factor, oh my goodness, it was so different. We actually have two different X Factors. We have an X Factor with aloe in it, which helps you actually absorb the nutrients that you're taking in that vitamin, up to 300% more. And then the X Factor Plus is this one, and it has a few extra added vitamins that the aloe one doesn't. So there's two different ones, and we can explain that later. But I love that the X Factor does not make you nauseated and do those things like I mentioned that I couldn't do before. So my hair, my skin, my nails have been changed by, like my nails, I can hardly bend them even if I try to right now. It's really crazy. Just the immunity that you get from it too, like Angela was mentioning, is great. And just having your gut healthy is actually keeping your immunity up too. A lot of people don't realize that as well. So a lot of people will experience just overall not getting sick, not getting colds, not having allergies, not having sinus issues, or at least getting much better in those departments because of just addressing your gut health and taking the X Factor. So those 4 altogether, we considered the Fab 4. But the 3 is the Slim, the BioCleanse, and ProBio 5 is called our triplex. That's our most popular combo that we have. Let me see if I missed anything in my notes before I move on and kind of wrap this up. I'm sorry, one second. So that's very much a crash course on the products. So I'm not one of these people that just says stuff to just say it, but I truly believe that everybody can benefit from these products. Young, old, healthy, unhealthy, active, not active. I feel like everyone can benefit from these because our world is not like how it used to be. We have chemicals in our food. We have constant antibiotic use. We're stressed. We have so much constantly messing our system up. And this is what's going to help supplement what we're lacking or what we need to eliminate out of our gut. So many people just want to feel better. They just are tired of being sick and tired. And this is what's going to help you feel just overall yourself and so much better. And for me, you know, I was not looking for a business when I started this. I'm not one of those people that I would ever think that I would be sharing with a group of people on the internet about this because I'm not that outgoing. But it's been such a huge blessing and something that God knew I needed at a certain time in my life because when I started these products, I was working part-time, and now I'm able to stay at home with my 3 children and homeschool them, which is such a blessing. So it's fun for me because the personal trainer side of me still gets to help people, you know, while being at home, helping them have better quality of life and just build relationships. And I'm able to fit this in the nooks and crannies of my day so I can be my own boss. You know, it's great because with this company, the sky's the limit. But if you only have a limited amount of time to do this, if you wanted to do this as a business, you can do it however you wish to do it. So I want to mention that Angela is putting on a special just for this group of people that are on. And so it runs for 48 hours. So 8:30 was today, Thursday. It goes to 8:30 Saturday night, and it's half off your ambassador wholesale fee. So it's only $35 for the year to get your products at wholesale prices. You don't have to have inventory. It can simply be you ordering for your family if you didn't even want to do this as a business. But she's paying for half of that, so it's only $17 to sign up as a wholesale ambassador. So you have 48 hours for that. And then also for this month, Plexus is putting on a free shipping for new preferred customers with their initial order of $100 or more. So there's free shipping this month if you want to start as a customer as well. So you probably have tons of questions after this, but I hope that this was at least helpful to get just a basic knowledge of things Plexus could help, or just about our products or about the business or any of that. And if you have further questions, we're here to answer them. So hope this is a light bulb moment for some of you tonight, and we appreciate your time and being on. And I'm going to stop the recording, but we can continue questions if you have any. And let me get the recording stopped real quick.